Welcome. You've arrived so soon. The Great Lake must have had favorable currents today. It's so good to finally meet you. My, what a kind thing to say. I've been told many times that I'm pleasing to the eye, but I've always assumed it was because I'm royalty. It's gratifying to hear it from someone who isn't one of my subjects. Or rather, my parents' subjects. Oh, I understand. You must have fallen for the topsider gossip about us. Did you think I was some sort of nasty, slimy lizard person? A lot of topsiders think that. It's because you refer to all of us who live below ground as troglodytes. Not a very appealing name, if you ask me. And as you can see, we look nothing like those ugly lizard people that prowl around near the entrance to the underground. Wait, does this mean when we were exchanging letters, you were picturing me as some disgusting creature? How noble of you to have written such sweet words, even though you imagine me that way. You must be so relieved. And to think, you agreed to marry me as well. I can see that you're truly devoted to your kingdom to willingly marry a monster for the sake of your people. I find that I'm liking you better and better all the time. Well, there is that. I suppose a commoner would suffer through greater trials than that for the chance to live the life of royalty. My understanding is that your people don't get many opportunities to improve your situation. It's all a matter of being of the right birth. Isn't that right? How nice it must be for you, then, to have been able to choose to participate in this exchange. It doesn't sound like it's common for your people to be able to create a better life for themselves. Oh, yes, well, it wasn't exactly a choice for me. Royalty have their duties, you know? My parents chose me out of all their children for this task. Yes, it's a very important duty. When royals and nobles intermingle too much, the bloodline becomes corrupted. So, we tend to select commoners of healthy disposition to wed instead. It was very considerate of your king to respect our traditions for this political marriage. We always trade a commoner to marry the other's royalty. I don't mean to disrespect topsider ways, but I think it's better this way. You're going to bring a very valuable perspective that a royal couldn't. You actually know what it's like to be a commoner. You know their needs, even if you're not from this kingdom. It always made more sense to me. Oh, but I'm babbling, aren't I? I must admit, I'm a little nervous meeting you. Even though we exchanged letters, it's still a nerve-wracking moment, meeting your future spouse. Well, I'm not surprised. It must be incredibly intimidating, suddenly being selected to marry royalty in an underground kingdom. If I might ask, how does that make you feel? Oh, well, if there's anything you shouldn't be feeling, it's unworthiness. Your people normally decide on candidates for political marriages based on nothing more than parentage and order of birth. But in your case, you passed all sorts of tests, both physical and mental, to prove that you were a commoner worthy of a royal marriage. You've proven yourself as the most worthy person in your entire kingdom. at least out of those who applied. Well, you can call it luck if you like, but if you're that lucky, then I'd say you're still more than worthy. Luck can be a skill too. Besides, you're doing us a great favor, just as we're doing a favor for you. Both our kingdoms need this alliance. My kingdom has been perilously low on food for quite some time now. It's difficult to grow things down here with no sunlight. And the mushrooms and livestock we do have are being mercilessly pillaged by the lizard people. So trade with you for your plentiful crops will be absolutely life-changing. And then, of course, you'll need our high-quality ores and stone. It's all commonplace for us, but as I understand it, the topsiders value the treasures of the earth above all else. I say all that to say this. You've proven yourself, and you're doing something crucial on behalf of both of our people. You're wonderful, dear. Tell me a bit about yourself. Our letters were so formal, all about arranging the wedding. And I suppose we don't technically have to know each other very well for the marriage to happen, but I'd prefer it. Wouldn't you? So, what does your family do? Oh, how wonderful. You must have gotten quite used to working with your hands then. That could be useful. Nothing, nothing. Anyway, do you think you're going to miss that? You must have grown up assuming you'd take over the family business. I imagine it must be shocking to realize things are going in a totally different direction. I suppose I can understand that. That seems to be something that royalty and commoners have in common. Things tend to get decided for you. Any chance to make a decision for yourself should be treasured, even if it is unexpected. In my case, I always knew I was going to be part of a political marriage. I'm the oldest of my siblings, but it's been, determined that I'm not the best suited to leadership. So this is the only way I can contribute to the kingdom. And you can't be royalty if you're not going to contribute. Oh, but I wouldn't say I'm unlucky. In fact, you and I are going to have an incredibly easy life together. Our whole purpose is to be symbols of our kingdom's union. All we're really required to do is make public appearances at some important events. As long as we look happy together, people will see that our people can get along. I know, it's incredibly simple. Of course, we can do more if we choose. We have a certain allotment of the royal treasury that's at our disposal, but that's more a matter of personal taste. Personally, I'd love to do some humanitarian outreach between kingdoms. It makes the bond that much stronger. I don't intend to merely laze around in luxury just because I've been relegated to the lowliest role a royal can get. Oh, dear. I think I've said something I shouldn't have. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to imply that marrying you is beneath me. It has nothing to do with you as a person. It's just, in my kingdom, all the princes and princesses are given land and responsibilities based on their potential. For me to be given no land at all, and the easiest possible job, it speaks volumes about what my parents think of me. It's as if they're saying, the only thing we think you're capable of is smiling in public and not cheating on your spouse. I was supposed to greet you and make you feel welcome in our kingdom, and yet here I am, burdening you with my own self-pity. Perhaps my parents aren't so wrong about me. You... Do you mean that? Well, nobody has ever made me blush like that before. I'll be honest, I assumed all your letters had been penned by someone your king hired to make a good impression. I hadn't considered that you might actually be that charming. It's strange. I didn't choose this political marriage, but now I think that perhaps, just perhaps, I can still choose you. Well, how can I say it more clearly? We've only just met, but I think that if we'd met under different circumstances, I could have decided I wanted to marry you anyway. You're sweet and charming. I know just from passing the test that you're healthy and intelligent. Maybe you don't see it this way because of your birth, but you're quite the specimen. I mean it. You keep bringing up your background as if that changes anything, but I'm telling you, it doesn't. If anything, I'm the one who's unworthy. You were chosen because you're the best commoner your people had to offer. I was chosen because I'm the worst of the royalty. I'm the one they could afford to give up. You're sweet to say that. Why don't we both agree not to say such things about ourselves? Let's just say that we're each bringing something to the marriage, and we're both doing something important for our people. I was actually feeling quite terrible about all of this before you arrived. I hated the fact that I was chosen for this union, but seeing that you're so likable, I suppose it's not so bad. I may not technically be able to refuse this marriage, but perhaps that doesn't mean I can't embrace you for my spouse of my own accord. In that case, let's make this formal. Will you marry me? Perhaps I should rephrase that. At this point, we will be married regardless, but do you want to marry me? I'm so happy to hear you say it. And I feel the same for you. I'm glad you were the one chosen for this. And, to my surprise, for the first time, I'm glad I was chosen as well. I choose to love you. Not because it's my duty, but because it's the one thing I still have a choice in. And because you're worthy of it. Oh, come to think of it, have we really just been standing in the palace's entryway this entire time? You were so engaging to talk to, I didn't even realize. There's like a whole feast waiting for us. Come, come, my love.